You ever feel like your body just has a mind of its own? Like one day you're firing on all cylinders, and the next, you can barely get out of bed? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the hidden forces that are pulling all the strings in Hormonal Havoc, a tale of two extremes.
You know those days, or maybe even weeks, where you just feel sluggish, a little anxious, or just off, and you can't for the life of you figure out why. It's a super frustrating feeling, right? But trust me, you are not alone, and the answer might be hiding in plain sight.
The reason might just be your hormones. They're these invisible chemical messengers that control pretty much everything, from your mood to your metabolism. So in this explainer, we are going to dive deep and get to know these tiny but oh so mighty glands that are basically running your life.
Okay, so let's think of hormones as your body's bosses. Seriously, they're the chemical messengers zipping around sending instructions that control the whole shebang. Your metabolism, your mood, stress levels, even how much water you hang on to. When they're all in sync, everything just works. But when they're not, well, that's when things can get a little wild.
First up, let's talk about the thyroid. I want you to imagine your body has a metabolism dial. It's kind of like the gas pedal in a car, right? The thyroid is the one with its foot on that pedal, deciding if your system is going to cruise along slowly or if it's going to go way, way too fast.
So this little powerhouse is a small, butterfly-shaped gland, and it's nestled right at the base of your neck. It is the absolute master of your metabolism. We're talking everything from how fast your heart beats to your internal body temperature. It's in control.
And right away, this brings us to our first major showdown, our first tale of two extremes. On one side, you've got hypothyroidism. That's where your entire system is running way too slow. And on the other side, hyperthyroidism, where everything is pushed into overdrive, just running way too fast.
So with hypothyroidism, picture this. You're always cold, right? Even when everyone else is perfectly comfortable. You might notice you're gaining weight, but you haven't changed a thing. You're exhausted all the time, and maybe even feeling kind of down. It's like your whole system is slogging through mud.
Now, let's completely flip that switch. With hyperthyroidism, your body is just burning through energy like crazy. You feel hot all the time. You're losing weight without even trying. And you've got this constant buzzing anxiety that makes it impossible to sleep. Your heart is racing. You might even have tremors. The gas pedal is slammed to the floor.
Okay, so how do we actually figure this out? This is where it gets a little weird, but in a cool way. It's kind of counterintuitive. See, when your thyroid is too slow, the pituitary gland up in your brain has to shout at it to wake up. It does that by releasing more thyroid-stimulating hormone, or TSH. So the signal, the TSH, is high, but the actual hormone from the thyroid, the T4, is low. And you guessed it, for a fast thyroid, it's the complete opposite.
All right, so we've covered the body's gas pedal. Now let's turn our attention to its emergency alarm system, the adrenal glands. These little guys are the command center for how you respond to stress.
So picture your kidneys. Right on top of them, kind of like little hats, sit your two adrenal glands. And their star player is a hormone called cortisol. You've probably heard of it. It's the famous stress hormone that gets you ready for fight or flight. It's absolutely crucial for survival, but of course, problems pop up when you have way too much or way too little.
And yep, you guessed it, we've got another set of extremes here. With Addison's disease, the system is basically offline. It's producing way too little cortisol. But with Cushing syndrome, the system is totally stuck in overdrive, flooding your body with way, way too much.
You know, when your body doesn't have enough cortisol, it can lead to all sorts of issues. Things like low blood pressure, weight loss, just feeling exhausted all the time. But here's the really scary part. It messes with your electrolytes. Having low sodium and high potassium can have some really serious consequences, especially for your heart.
And get this, one of the most unique, telltale signs of Addison's disease is this distinct darkening of the skin. It's often described as a bronze color. It's a truly unmistakable symptom. Now, on the flip side, too much cortisol can lead to things like high blood pressure and high blood sugar. And it also causes a really strange kind of weight gain. You might notice that your face and your torso are getting larger while your arms and legs actually stay thin. We call that central obesity.
And just like Addison's has its signature sign, Cushing's has a couple of really unforgettable visual clues of its own. The face can become very round, what's known as a moon face, and a pad of fat can develop on the upper back, which is often called a buffalo hump.
All right, for our final system, let's talk about the big boss, the master regulator of it all, the pituitary gland. And today, we're going to focus on its role as the body's master plumber, the one in charge of all your water balance.
The hormone we're focusing on here is called antidiuretic hormone, or ADH for short. The pituitary releases ADH, and that's the master signal that tells your kidneys, hey, hold on to water, or no, let it all go. It is the ultimate water retention boss.
And this sets up our final showdown. And the analogy here is just perfect. If you have too much ADH, you get a condition called SIADH. Think of it like a clogged drain. Your body just can't get rid of water. If you have too little ADH, that causes diabetes insipidus, which is like leaving the faucet wide open. Your body is just losing water constantly.
Just look at this table. It makes it so clear. In SIADH, you're all wet. Your body retains water, so your urine output is really low. And all that extra water dangerously dilutes the sodium in your blood. In diabetes insipidus, you're all dry. You're losing tons of water, so urine output is super high. Your blood sodium gets way too concentrated, and you are incredibly thirsty. That's a symptom we call polydipsia.
So after all that, what's the big takeaway from our tale of two extremes? Well, it's pretty simple. Health is all about a delicate balancing act. When our hormones are working together in harmony, our bodies just thrive. But the moment that balance gets tipped one way or the other, the consequences can be huge.
And wow, this final chart just pulls everything together perfectly. You've got hypo versus hyper, Addison's versus Cushing's, SIADH versus diabetes insipidus. For every single pair, you can see the hormone level, the key signs, and that core conflict. It's the entire tale of two extremes, all right here in one place. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Our bodies are performing these countless, incredible balancing acts every single second of every day. Understanding this hidden world of hormones is just the beginning. So, what hidden system do you think you'll want to learn about next?